Hello everyone. It's Maddie with SpectrumArtCreations.com. Today we're going to be working on a lovely hunky-dory bauble shaker card using Baubles, the Magic of Christmas Moonstone die and stamp set. In the kit, for those of you who purchased the kit from us, you would have the following items. You would have a piece of acetate from Hunky Dory. You would have a 3D embossing die for a slimline card from Nellie's Choice. And this is really pretty because, as I was mentioning to everyone, it is not Christmas specific. So you can use this one year round. It is a great investment. Let me try and show you the details on it. You can see it can be used for New Year's, for birthdays, for anything at all. But we're going to use it for Christmas and it's going to work just great. So you'll see how versatile that is. I'll point this out. Next, we're going to have some of the border stickers. Oh, okay, we'll be using those. And then, again, the centerpiece of this creation or card is going to be the Moonstone Hunky Dory combo of the die and stamp set called Baubles, the Magic of Christmas. And we're going to be recreating that card. You can see here in the back that it contains your die cut that fits perfectly around your stamp. It also has the little bow here. And it's got the ornament head. See that little ornament head right there? Yep, that's also included in the die. And then you have some really pretty other additional stamps to go with it, like a corner one, a couple of little leafy ones, and then this really, really pretty one. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Go ahead and gather up your kit. Now, if you missed purchasing this kit from us, well, they are sold out. However, I'm sure you can probably play along with something that you have in your stash. And the other thing to remind you is, well, make sure that you guys are ringing that, hitting the subscribe button and ringing that bell so that you can be notified of whenever we go live, because we do all kinds of class kits, on a weekly basis, and you definitely want to be here in order to score one. Okay, let me go ahead and get set up and we're going to get started. Okay, for our first step, what we're going to do is we're going to get all of our cutting done, all of our trimming. I left some stuff behind. And I do apologize. It is early in the morning, but I figure we can get some quiet time before the chaos starts, right? So I figure we can just jump in and do this really quick because it is a fun and quick card. So let's get all of our paper cutting out of the way because I like to do that and then just kind of put my tool out of the way. We're going to need an A4 at least piece of paper because we're going to cut our base. We're going to need an 8¼ by 8. So you can see that on this side, we have 8½. So super easy to just trim the 8¼ So instead, to save paper, which we're going to need for later projects, I'm going to cut the 8 from my longer side, right? So 8 inches, and then I'm going to flip that. And as I mentioned, we're going to do 8¼ which is just a little sliver. So very little waste. Okay, so we've got this piece right here. Now, you got to be really careful because, it almost looks the same. So what you want to do is you want to measure the 8 side. That's not it. Is this it? Yeah, there's my 8-inch side. So you want to take that 8-inch side and you want to fold it in half. Again, you could use your scoreboard. So if you want to, simply put it on your scoreboard as well, and then simply come to the 4 and score it that way. Or you could simply walk it and fold it in half, whichever way you prefer. Okay, now we need our bone folder. This is my ergonomic bone folder. which is my favorite for my hands. All right, and we have the base. It's as simple as that. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it aside for now. We're not going to use it right this second. Let's keep cutting. Next, we're going to need and you can use just a scrap piece of paper, but for the sake of the video, I guess I could use a full piece. So we're all on the same page. Okay. So, but if you have a scrap piece of paper, all you need is an 8 by 3 3/4. So once again, our width right now is almost 8. So we're going to leave that as is to save paper. And we're going to come to 3 3/4, 3.75, and we're going to cut that. And then we're going to flip that and cut the 8-inch. Again, it'll just be a little sliver. Okay. So then you have this piece. And now, actually, let's bring this back for a second. When you line yours up, you should have a border. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's white on white, but you should have a little slim border that goes all the way around. Okie dokes. Right. Put that off to the side. Oh, we got one more thing to cut, and that's going to be our acetate. Okay, now you guys got a full sheet of acetate in your kit. You only need a small piece. So you can get more than one out of one acetate piece. We're going to need a 4.5. Again, this is 8 1/4. So 4.5 and 4.5 would be 9. So that's not going to work. So we're going to flip it instead this way. And we're going to cut a 4.25. I'm sorry, 4.5. Sorry, 4.5. Wait, am I under? Yeah. I was like, I can't see it. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? I hope it's okay on camera. So you've got your 4.5. Then we're going to flip that and we're going to do a 2.5. Okay, that's all that we're going to need for our window. Again, bringing back our die set. You can see how that is sufficient to cover. Let me open it up. And then I can also get rid of that glare, right? Oh, the sun's coming out. I love sunrise. It's pretty. And being in Florida, we're kind of spoiled because we have beautiful sunrises and beautiful sunsets. Okay, so there is our acetate, and we can see how it fits just perfect. So as you can see, you're going to be able to get 2 more out of this, and then you still have that other piece left over. So you can do probably 6 out of just one piece of acetate. Okay, let's put that away. And we're going to put all this, I'm tucking mine over here on my top just to make sure I do not lose any of it, because that little piece might be easy enough to misplace, right? Okay, let's move on to step number 2. In step number 2, we're going to bring back our panel. Now, again, this is the panel, not the card base. So the card base opens up, so we'll leave that there. This is just a single panel that we had that was 8 by 3 3/4. Okay, we're going to bring our die set. We're going to need the bauble. And we're going to position that. Now, if you want to be super precise to make sure that you get that in the center, you can use our ruler, which has the 1/8, 16th measurements, but more importantly, on this other side, it's got the 0 ruler, is what I call it. And you'll notice that it does 0, then it does 1 on either side, then 2, then 3. So 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, etc. And that helps you to position, find the center like that. I don't do math, so I love this thing. So all you have to do is look for the same number on both left and right. In this case, 1 7/8. There you go. I just found center in 2 seconds. So again, I have 1 7/8 on this side, 1 7/8 on that side. I'm going to lightly put a little line on there, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing. Again, I'm going to grab my 0 ruler and find the top and bottom are the same, which is 4. Okay, I'll bring that in towards my center. And here it is. So this plus this, I have now created a little X, a light little X on my center. I don't know if you can see that. So again, that's if you want to be super, super precise. I love that ruler because I can't do math. So, all right, we're going to position that again. I'm just kind of like lining this end and this end with my little X, and then just kind of looking, you know, that I'm not crooked. The grid can also help you make sure that you're not all cockeyed. You can kind of look at it like this and then, you know, help yourself out that way. But again, it doesn't have to be super precise. Grab your low-tack tape. Well, where's mine? Here it is. We have several different forms of low-tack tape, several brands. So if you're on the market for low-tack tape, we do have some good ones in store. And the reason why you want this is because you do not want this to become really hard to peel up after the fact and ruin your card panel, right? Okay, so we're going to take this over to, oh, you know what? I'm kind of low. I just realized that. That is not even. See? Again, the beauty of low tack. See? Just quick release. I'm going to do that again. That's about center thinking. Okay, maybe that. There we go. Again, don't overthink it. It's not going to make a difference whether it's 1/8 of an inch this way or that way. You just want to get it center-ish. How's that? All right, let's take that over to the die cutting machine, cut it out, and we'll be right back. Don't get rid of that piece because we're going to need it, okay? Okay, and that is done. So we're just going to release that. Nice and easy, see? And we're going to keep this, so don't get rid of that. Okay, now let's go ahead and put this off to the side for just a second because I want to focus on this piece. Now that that is done, we're going to emboss it. So let's bring back our embossing folder and we're going to position the panel on here. Now, you want to make sure, let me put it this way so you guys can see it better. You want to make sure that you're getting all of your little corners in, right? So all 4 of them. If you go too much to one side, I'll show you what happens. See, you're going to miss some corners. So try and center it. Again, this is where your low tack tape can also be your best friend. Because once I think I've got it centered, I'm going to grab some low tack and just kind of adhere it. What did I drop? I'm not sure. You know what? Actually, let me do it from the center. Because in that way we can really see what's happening on the sides. Okay, so we're going to bring it up, look at it, make sure all of my corners are in, that the little white space looks kind of evenly distributed, which it does. It all looks good. Okay. Actually, see here, look, I've got more on that side than on this one. Does it matter? No. Will it be the end all? No. Do you want to reposition it? If you feel like it. You don't have to, but we can. We can slide it over here on the bottom just a smidge and take a look at it again. And that looks perfect. It looks great. Okay, so once that is done, go ahead and run that through your embossing or die cutting machine. Once again, I'm using my SACsSwitch, which is an electronic platform. I love it. We have it in store, by the way. But you just use whichever one you have right at hand. So we'll be right back. Okay, and as quick as that, movie magic, we've got our gorgeous emboss piece done. All right, we're going to release the tape. Sometimes when you die cut, the tape wants to, even though it's low tack, it wants to really stick to the fibers in your paper. If it does that, a secret is you can heat it. What heating does is, obviously this is glue, it's an adhesive, so it softens the adhesive and helps it release from your paper. If I could find it, it'd be great. Hang on, guys. Sorry, white on white. I do have the studio light, which is has different colors. I should just use that. That would have been easier to see on camera, right? On film. Oh, I think I missed them. There we go. Okay. I keep dropping stuff today. Maybe early crafting is not for me. I'm more of a night owl. So, oh, there we go. Get that off. Let me bring up my panel and show you just how lovely it is. And I'm sure yours is as well. Okay, so now we know this is going to go here. Yes, perfect, perfect. Okay, we know that this is going to be what we're going to stamp our sentiment on. And that's why we were saving it. So let's put this away so we don't lose it. And instead, let's quickly grab, and we're going to do some more die cutting, but let's go ahead and get like the basics out of the way, and then we can play with decorating because we'll have lots of great choices for decorating as well. Place that back on there. Now I have a little tick mark on mine. I can just as simply just flip it over and nobody will know. And again, if you mess it up, you do have the other side, right? So this is going to go on here. See, pretty simple, pretty easy. We're going to bring back the stamping platform. Now, there are many different kinds, of course, so you just work with the one that you have. This, in case you're wondering, is the all-in-one, I believe it's called. So it does your scoreboard, it does your trim, it does your punches, it does banners, buntings, stamping. It's loaded with all kinds of tools. It is magnetic as well. It comes with magnets. It does your tags. It does it all, basically. But as you can see, it is magnetic. So if you wanted to, you could put a magnet on this. But since it's such a made to fit kind of piece, if you were just stamping it onto another, right? We had some leftover cardstock. If you were just using one of the leftover pieces of cardstock, then you can stamp anywhere and then die cut it. But I figured since we already have this piece cut out, why not use it? Again, if for whatever reason you make a boo-boo, this is not a crisis because we have extra paper and we can stamp away and die cut. So we can do it the other way if it's easier for you. In this case, again, this is a magnetic stamping platform. I am going to simply put my, well, first I should probably tack this on, right? And we could use a sticky sheet, by the way, too. Oh, I should have grabbed a sticky grid sheet so I could show you that. Oh, well, it's okay. It's okay. We are going to simply make do with what I've got right now because, well, I want to keep crafting. Now, if I was doing these assembly style, which I most likely will after this video, I want to do a few of these and maybe use them for our Christmas card exchange that we're having in the Facebook group, then I would definitely get my sticky grid. Or I would probably just stamp them all assembly style onto my cardstock and then just die cut them out. So whatever is easiest for you. Again, I'm just making sure my stamp is well adhered on there. I'm going to put that down and pick it up. Now my stamp is in the right place and so is my piece of paper. Let's get some ink. My favorite ink is, of course, my Graphic 45 hybrid ink because I don't know, What if I should decide later I want to do some watercoloring on this, or some Copic markers, or some, magicals, or whatever? Well, then I know my sentiment is not going anywhere. Beautiful details on there. Do you see the little sprigs? They're so pretty. And all those little, you know, snowflakes. So I'm just, remember, this is a non-prime stamp, so it's the first time we're using it. You want to make sure you're a little generous. And if we miss, it's no worries because we have our repositionable stamping platform. We're going to press down, make sure we're getting, again, it's a non-primed brand new stamp. Okay, we're going to lift, and we can see that we've missed some areas. So we're going to re-ink. I'm going to press down. I do have my little, oh, what do you call that thing? My little stamping, um, oh goodness gracious, the tool, the stamping, the pressing tool. Yeah, early morning is not, it's not the best time for me to look for words, right? All right, I can see I missed the A, the O, everything else looks really crisp. So I'm just going to focus here on the center. Again, you have to prime your stamps. Once your stamps are primed, then they will do great stamping. However, this is the first time we're using it. It's going to take a couple of stamps. And then after this, it will be nice. And I keep missing that A. There we go. Awesome sauce. Oh, wait. I just realized I didn't do the F. Once it is primed from here on out, it'll be great. Usually I prime my stamps on a scratch piece of paper, but I figure, we might as well use it and prime it at the same time. Did that get the F? Yes, it did. Just one more time, just in case. All right, we're good. That took a little longer than it will in the future. So, but I am not too worried. I'm going to put that off to the side because I'll be working with it again. We're going to lift this baby up and remove the tape. And that was like the hardest thing, but not really, right? Not hard at all. Okay, now, before we continue on to the next step, I just kind of want to show you why I wanted to do it that way. Number one, so we wouldn't waste. Number two, because this will fit right in there. See how perfect that is? Of course, we actually die cut it out of it. So it's going to be a flawless fit. Okay, let's work on this base. Now I'm going to take you on a very short detour because some of you remember that we had talked when the kits came out that we were going to also be able to use our leftover papers from the other Christmas cards that we had done in order to also use for this card. So I showed you how to stamp it on white, but I'm also going to cover how to use this other paper. So you guys should have plenty, for those of you who purchased this other kit, of leftover papers. And again, there is a 5 project playlist that I can link down below so that in the description box, so you guys can go and also see all of these great panels that we did using this paper. Very dimensional, super fun, but we have tons left over after we've done what we've done. So what I want to do is I want to find a scrap piece of paper that is going to be big enough for this, such as, ta-da, see, that was easy. You want something that's got a little bit more of a light area right? Something like that, something like this is perfect. You don't want something too busy because that's going to interfere with your text, something like this. So we have lots of great choices. So again, for those of you who did purchase this other kit, take a look around and decide where do you think you want to stamp your sentiment. We have a lot. Look, here's another piece that I think would be perfect, right? But I think I want to aim for a little bit more blue. Oh, is that right? Look at that. Even that will work. I have lots of great ones like this, but I want a little bit more of the blue because we're also going to be using some of this decorative paper for our little decorative pieces. Of course, if you do not have this set, well, you can use whatever papers in your stash, or I'll show you how to just go ahead and keep it super cool. Oh, I love that text, but it might interfere with what my other text is, right? Maybe too busy. So something not so busy. I think we have great choices here. This one's kind of cool because it's got some of the that gorgeous tea-dyed color, plus it's got some of the blue splatters. So again, we can try a couple. We can, you can do a bunch. You have the paper, you might as well try it. So I'm going to stamp that on here and then I'm going to die cut it. So again, if you have this collection and you're continuing using it as well as I am, you're going to stamp your sentiment on there and then you're going to bring your die and cut it out. So when I return, that's what I would have done. So pretend that this is the stamp image, and then I'm going to run it through and cut it out and then come back with that. All right, let's go ahead and work on that. I just realized that I wanted to show you what I was talking about earlier, that when you're working with a bigger piece, you can use your magnets to hold down your paper. And the reason for that is because it will not interfere with your stamping, right? So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make sure it is clean so I'm not double stamping. 1 second, I just need a wipe. Okay, and we're going to position it where we want it. I want some of that blue, some of that white, so maybe about there. I'm going to bring our stamping platform and then just pick up our stamp. If I feel that I need additional magnets, I do have them. I also have them in teal. I like them in teal. So I love the pink ones, of course, but Madison loves the teal ones too. So, and these are great because we sell these separate, by the way. They're awesome because they have the little grabby tab, which is just so wonderful for my hands. And because they are protected, they don't break. I tend to break, I'll show you some. I tend to break a lot of magnets because they just slam together and then they break. But with the protector in place, it prevents that from breaking too. So I love those. Anywho, let's go ahead and hang out together. We might as well now that we're all here, right? We're just going to ink this up. Once again, the same thing we've done before. And then I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine and die cut it. You guys continue to work on yours as well. And we will regroup in just a few minutes. Do you see the difference once your stamp is primed? Like pretty much done on the first one, right? So, okay, I'll be back. Okay, so we are done. We're going to bring this back and remove our low tack tape. As you can see, no damage done to our card. Where did I put my die? Oh, here it is. I'm going to pick up in about 2 seconds. And we have our die cut image, right? Again, we're going to save these because we're going to bring them back in order to decorate. But now you can see that that's also going to be a great pop of color, right? Just enough. We can still read all of our text, but it's going to look super pretty on the inside. Okay, with that done, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our card base back. Let me get my Totally Tiffany caddy so I can put my stuff away, because I'm going to end up crafting myself into a corner. You know how that goes, right? Of course we do. I love this thing. It just, holds all of my stuff. See? And I still have the project in here partially loaded. These are the cards that I was telling you about, the panels that we made. So if you missed this one, you definitely want to go back and watch these great videos. It's a whole series, and we took it one step at a time and made the most wonderful cards, but they're still here because I was waiting to finish this project since we were kind of piggybacking off of the other one, right? Okay. So now we're going to work on this right here. You have choices. You can either use a piece of paper, which we have from the first one. So again, for those of you who have the first kit also, you can go ahead and opt to create your panel out of that. But we can also ink directly onto this. And that's why I asked that you guys have some inks ready for us to go ahead and color our paper. So let me go ahead. I'm going to grab my glass mat because that makes it the easiest. And let me grab my ink. Now, there are many different blues. So it's up to you which blue you think you'd like to use. If I look at my paper that I've decided on, I can kind of compare. Of course, we also have scratch pieces of paper that we can create swatches on if you haven't already swatched. This is just a piece of printer copy paper. I can come in and kind of swatch it out to think, is this the best one? That's not bad at all, right? Again, I'm going to clean my brush. This one, I think it's a little too much of a teal color. This one might be a good one. That's speckled egg. This one might be a good one. Weathered wood or faded jeans might be good. Chip sapphire is very intense. That might create also a really great effect. Let's see. Let's try the chip sapphire and see how deep that color is going to be. If it will work. Very deep. You see that? Very intense. Don't know that it's my favorite. So I'm going to say no to that. Let's try weathered wood. I think would be too light. But again, experiment with your colors and see which ones you like. That is a little too gray for me. I'm looking for something more blue. Too light. Okay, I think my two that I'm going to consider are going to be, and I'm going to clean off my brush. I'm going to put these side by side now just so I can see. Faded jeans on the bottom. So I'll leave this here on the bottom so I don't forget. And Stormy Skies at the top. Oh, that's a tough choice. They're both pretty great, aren't they? I think I'm going to go with Faded Jeans. Okay, so now that I picked my color, you've picked yours. We're going to bring the card base back. And what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way around. If you worry about dirtying up your base, you can also insert a piece of paper to kind of help you as you go along the edges, right? We're going to grab some of our faded jeans and we're going to go around just the border. Remember, we're only going to see a smidge of this. We're not going to see a whole lot. So we're going to bring that in. Again, if you tend to be a little heavy-handed or blotchy, with your inking, don't forget that's what a glass mat is for. You can just whatchamacallit, you can just place your product on the glass mat and then bring it in, and that will give you a more even look, more control, right? But in my case, I'm just coming straight in. I think I need to ink up that pad. It's not as juicy as it used to be, but in all fairness, I've never inked it. I've never re-inked it, I should say. And I've owned it for years. So I think it might be time. There's still plenty of it in there, as you can see, but it could be juicier. All right, I'm going to actually, let me fold it this way. I don't want to get any on the inside of my card. Put it this way. I would love to know, how many cards have you made so far this year for Christmas? Have you made any? Is this your first? Or maybe you're like on number 50, right? Which I need to get crack-a-lackin' because I really need, and I think this is going to be the one that I'm going to use for the Christmas card exchange. Again, I can bring my panel in to kind of show you what we're doing, and you can see that border, right? Super pretty. Now, you could also use, by the way, the Lisa Horton inks, because they have a metallic finish to them, right? So we could have used those, and those would have been super cool too. So don't forget, and we have a full stock of Lisa Horton re-inkers and ink pads. So if you are in the market for some gorgeous, and they're interference inks, by the way, so that means they look different on black than they do on white. They're two colors in one. And those are super juicy. You know, I should grab one just to show you. Because sometimes it's not so much this. You might be like well versed with, you know, obviously going around. It's a simple technique to create color cardstock, so to speak, without necessarily doing the whole panel or cutting something out. But the Lisa Horton, as you can see, it'll show you the color on white and then the color on black, right? So in this case, this would be a good choice. This one is Opal Blush Shimmer. Oh, here's a very intense blue. Again, we can swatch it just to see how it would look. Oh, look at that teal, okay? I don't think I want a teal. Well, actually, that would not be bad either. See, so many choices, so many ideas, but how about this one right here? Let me clean off. Oh, that's another intense teal color. What about this one? This one is Mermaid Lagoon. Oh, this is going to be even more teal, I think. Yeah, that's a real teal. Ooh. Okay, so not that one. What other blue do I have? I need more, don't I? Oh, that's green. I think our best bet was going to be this one right here, wasn't it? I think that's a beautiful blue. That's pretty. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous blue. I think we might add some of that. Why not? Why not? Let me get another scratch piece of paper. And again, it's all about playtime. Listen, sometimes it's not so much about, you know, the project itself where you're just like super focused on, oh, you know, this one card. It's more about just having fun. And in this case, I think that's going to be the answer to that. Now, these are super juicy, so I am going to go onto my glass mat, and then I'm going to bring in that blue. Ooh, and actually a mixture of the two might be kind of cool. Maybe a little over the top, because you don't want to do this like times 100 if you're doing 100 cards, but it would be beautiful. And it's interesting because the Tim Holtz inks, the properties are almost not necessarily resisting, but they are blending really interestingly into the paper with the Lisa Horton. Very cool and interesting. Let me see how that panel will look. Now I'm curious, curious, curious. Oh, I like that. Yes. Okay. Awesome sauce. Let's continue on real quick. You can see just how juicy these ink uh, pads are, right? Oh, super juicy. And I love the fact that we're getting like a teal edge and then some blue too with it. I think I like that. So I'm going to try and aim for that rather than covering the whole thing. Pretty cool. I like it. All right, and then we'll do this side and we will stop playing and we will get crack-a-lackin' back on our card because we're almost done. That's it. This is just fun playtime. Again, for those of you who had the Katie Sue where was it? Fairy Tale Christmas? Oh gosh, it's, yeah, Fairy Tale Christmas. You could have just used a panel, cut it out, and have matted it that way. But I'm kind of glad we did this because I like it. Okay. Like it a lot. Look at that, how pretty. Oh my gosh, it almost looks like I just want to leave it like that and then just do something else with it. How pretty of a panel is that? So pretty. Of course, we were kind of sloppy. Imagine if we had done a really good job in blending those two. That would have looked magical for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and put all the stuff away because, of course, I brought out everything just to play, and now I've got a big old mess. So give me 2 seconds to pick up, and I will be back with the next step. Okay, for our next step, we're going to bring back that embossed panel, but we're not going to adhere it or anything else. We're going to use it as a stencil, as a way to mark where we're going to go. So we're going to line it up. Man, it's hard to do when you're on camera. So I'm going to lift it real quick. You know what? I think my panel is a little long. I'm going to trim just a smidge off of it. I'm not sure how that happened because it's pretty even. So it might even be my card base that I cut a little, like an eighth of an inch short, but it doesn't matter. Again, when we have little obstacles, we can just come in and fix them. Paper crafting, the most forgiving. That in mixed media, super forgiving. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, now that that is done, see, and I'm glad that happened because then I can show you if it happened to yours, how you can also work around it. Not that it was a huge deal, but we're going to bring this in and we're going to use it almost like a placement tool. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to grab my precision glue press and add, and we have them in stock, by the way. I know they keep selling out, but they are back in stock. So if you haven't gotten yours, you need to. It is simply wonderful. I'm going to stand up and hopefully not put my head in camera because it's kind of hard to do this while you're, come on. I just moved it again. Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use that in order to help me position this in place. And then I can remove this. I just moved it again. Hang on. Let's make sure that we're going to be okay. We need to go a little bit more that way. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now, without moving it, let's go ahead and put it in place. Okay, that creates the sentiment in the center. Now we're going to bring the panel and we're going to reverse it. So we want the emboss side up, the deboss side now facing us, right? And we're going to grab our acetate piece and we're going to adhere that in place. Let me grab my Cosmic Shimmer glue. So for anything plastic or acetate, this is your best friend. This is the Cosmic Acrylic Glue by Cosmic Shimmer. I've struggled with acetate for the longest time, or anything plastic to stay. I love making ATCs, but yes, I'm using my sweater. Pretend you didn't see that. I got fingerprints all over it. So this is a truly amazing glue when it comes to acetate. I'm just going to clean up a little bit more. Okay. We're going to add some glue all the way around. And that's a little generous. We don't need all that much. But we do want it to be stable because we don't want, can you imagine making a shaker and then the recipient gets it and they go to shake it and or they open the card and it's just nothing but a mess inside? Oh, that would be terrible, right? Not a very happy, not a very happy moment, I would say. Okay, and then I'm going to go all the way around and just make sure that this is on there. And like I said, that it's not going to come up anytime soon. Maybe not in my lifetime at least, or yours. And there we go. All right. Burp the bottle. And that's what I didn't do last time. And my little thingy broke, but I love this thing because it just stays on there before I snapped it off. But super cool that I don't end up losing the cap like I always do with all the other things that are capped. Okay, so now we have our acetate window in place. We can see that the panel is going to go right over that and it's going to look beautiful, but we are not ready to adhere that yet. So let's work on that next. So to work on the next step, let's put this off to the side for now so we're not messing with it, right? And plus it can sit there and dry. Now, here's the game plan. Let's take a look at the picture in the front. We're going to create these really pretty pieces here. We already have this done. We've got this done. We have got our, our borders that we're going to use. There's one that even looks like a chain, if you'd like, that we're going to use to create this. Again, if you didn't get this kit, no problem. Just go ahead and use your ribbon. A piece of ribbon, I think, is what they've used there. But we do need to die cut the little bobblehead cap thing here at the top. And we do need to also die cut our bow. So let's go ahead and do those first. So that way, what I like to do, by the way, is I like to assemble my stuff together and then put the shaker on last. I don't like messing with it once it's on. So I want to do all my decorating first and then of course adhere it as a final step. So for that, you could use anything you'd like. Now I happen to have little scraps left over from, here's an even smaller one. from when we did the other cards. So I'm going to use, I also have some awesome DCW glitzy metallics. So that would be pretty for the bow. I think, yeah, I think those are good. I think since my what do you call that? My little hanging string is going to be gold. I think that I don't want to go with a gold cap because it just kind of blends in, doesn't it? It's kind of boring. I think I want to do a metallic bow. So let's see what we've got here. And again, we have these in stock. I don't know if they're listed. There are so many items that we just haven't got a chance to list. But if you're interested in one, you can always email me. I will pop the email link down below. And I know we have some in colors too, but I'm thinking what would look good with this? Oh, let me flip that over. I think anything would look good with that. A pink bow would look adorable. Ooh, a black. Yeah, that might look really pretty. Silver is very elegant, but I think it might get lost. I think I like this idea. So I'm going to use a little piece of that to die cut this. And then for my ornament head, what if I went with maybe a blue? Didn't I have scraps of blue? I think I did. Yeah, I sure do. We can even do a blue cap or a silver one. It kind of, no, but then the bow would blend. Maybe that. Let's try that. Again, do a combination. And again, if you're doing multiples, you can just go ahead and cut multiples and see what looks good. But I'm going to cut these out and then I will be right back. Okay, and that was easy and ever so lovely. And I think I do like it. Look at that. So I've got the blue foil and then the, I would say it's like anthracite or charcoal gray little bow. And if I want to see how that's going to play out, I can kind of put this back into play like so and just take a peek. You know, do I like it? Do I love it? I think so. Oops, something like that. And I think those colors go really well. I'm trying to get you out of the glare. There we go. I think those colors go really well with the black in here and then with the blue that we had as well. And then we're going to have our gold chain, which is really going to make it stand out. But we also need to bring back our stamp set. And remember this little guy right here? Well, that's going to go right here, okay? So from the star to the star. And so what we're going to need are 2 strips of paper. You can use scraps completely. You can even use the same inks as you've used here if you wanted to do that. Again, if you do not have the paper collection, you can use any substitute that you want because all you need is a 2 by 3 1/4, right, wide by a 1/2 inch. So we're talking about little tiny strips. So let's take a look at our papers again. And I know we've got plenty of strips. We have all, I'm not even going to bring out the full pages because I think we can easily find something in the scraps. And yes, I mean, of course, if you want to use any of the full pages, we still have tons. So look through that. But here, I can see that I have plenty that will work, right? So we could go with something like that. What's on the other side? No, not that. That's too small. We could also even go with something now, more of that tan color if we want to, that tea dyed. Oh, look how pretty that is too with some of those little bits there. Here's another piece. We could use something like that. That's pretty gorgeous too. Oh my gosh, so many choices. That's too short. That's the same thing. That one has text though, so that's kind of interesting. We could just stamp over the text. We won't see much of it though, but we could. Okay, we have this one, which is, that's the same thing. Yes, yes. Okay, so we've got that side. We've got this side. Oh, this is almost perfect for it. Oh, we could even go something like Season's Greetings, right? A little deeper tone. This one is kind of perfect of a scrap to use. Oh, here's another one. Oh, so I've got two of those. You know what? I'm not even going to keep looking. I think that's just an easy pick right there. Now, we could use ink, right? And just stamp it on black so that it coordinates with the text on the inside. We can also bring in embossing powders and do some kind of a cool gold or silver or blue, or, you know, pick a color, any color. It would be nice. They have white on theirs, so we could do white, but then again, they did their sentiment in white. So that's kind of, you know, the whole idea. So if you want to emboss, of course you can. If you want to just stamp directly on here, you can as well. So first of all, let's trim these down to size so we know exactly what we're working with. As I mentioned, measurements are 2 3/4 by 1 inch. So it is already an inch, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And this one too? What were the odds of that? No, this one is not. So I am going to trim just a bit off of this one. Just a smidge. Okay. They should be exactly the same. No, this one's a little wider. I mean, it's just a smidge. It was a sliver, but okay. Just because we want to be precise. There we go. And then we're going to cut this at 2 3/4. So 2 3/4, we can decide which side. I think I'm going to go with this one. Am I right? Yes. I had to do a double take. Wait, did I do that right? That doesn't seem right. Oh my goodness, was it 3 3/4? I just told you the wrong measurements, didn't I? Maddie, Maddie, Maddie. It sure was. It was 3 3/4, so I'll have to recut another piece. I mean, I could adhere that one, by the way. So if all you have is one piece, just know that you can always, I like those baubles. You can always, I almost did it again. 3 3/4. Why do I have 2 3/4 in the brain? I have no clue. Ah, love it when stuff like that happens. And you know, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, wait, that's still short. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Let me cut another one real quick while you guys are laughing and catching up. You're going, what? What? Can I have another one of that? I should, right? And if not, I can just recut something that matches. Anything will match, but I really like those little ornaments. They were kind of, oh, this is really pretty. Oh, that is really pretty. Do I have enough for two? I don't think I do. I really like that. What page is that? I don't know. That's kind of gorgeous too. But I really like, I don't know what page that is. I love the blue tones. Oh, it's this one. What page was this one? Is this wide enough? That is. Okay. All right. Take two. Scratch the idea. Do it again. I've changed my mind. I love that blue on there. I am going to save these because you know what? They're great for matting sentiments. When you have little pieces like this and like this, um, you know, when you have words, you can just use them as mats and they are perfect. Not those. Okay, let's do take number 2. No, I am not going to reshoot this because I believe that it is important that we also work through our mistakes. So 1 inch, I'm going to save those little ornaments here at the top. They're so pretty. I will save them for something else. Another inch. Okay, save that piece. And now Say it with me. 3 3/4. Keep saying it, guys. I might actually listen. 3 3/4. 3 3/4, Maddie. 3 3/4. 3 3/4. And I like this side better. 3 3/4 for the bottom. Okay. Now we're good. Yes? Okay. You could save these tiles. You know what these are great for? Masterboards. They're great for masterboards. Again, I don't usually save super tiny things, but sometimes it's nice to just throw them in a box. And then when you go to make masterboards or Franken paper, you can use those. Okay, so now we know that's going to go on both of those. If you want to ink anything, of course, you most certainly can. I think it looks really nice and elegant this way, but we most certainly can bring in even the same ink that we did here and ink up those edges if you want. You can also use your paper distresser and actually, instead of making it look clean, make it look a little more organic by distressing those edges. This is the paper distresser by Tim Holtz. And we have that also in store, but it's great for going around your edges and just giving it a very organic look. In this case, I'm just going to keep it the way it is because I'm sure you guys just want to get to finishing your cards, right? So let's go ahead and stamp those. Keep those there. They're ready to go. Let's ink those up. See, I knew I should have gotten the sticky grid mat. I knew it. I could have used it like tenfold by now, right? That's okay. We'll just reuse our tape to hold these down. It's going to be an easy stamp anyway. Again, the stamp is new, so it's not primed. If you want to prime it on a piece of paper so that you have that ready to go, you can always just stamp off and get it ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and place this, say here, and then we're going to place our stamp right over it, like so, trying to make sure that we are somewhat straight. I think I am. I think, you know what? That's fine. It's fine. I think I can see that it's somewhat straight. Okay, and then we're going to pick that up. We're going to ink it. And again, we might need a couple of impressions on this one because it is a brand new stamp. Okay. Release. Actually, we just needed one. It was that perfect. Okay, we're going to remove that tape and we're going to reuse it for our next strip. Same thing, same way. Okay. And then just somewhere in between the two magnets, it's all we're looking for. I am going to clean this off because I want to place it on top and yet not create an impression. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Hopefully it's straight. Oh, I still went it backwards. All right, pick it up, ink it up. You know, the only thing I keep asking Graphic 45 is to create re-inkers. The fun thing is that pad has lasted me for years and years. And it's the only one that I pretty much use. I mean, every now and then I will break out my archival or my stays on blacks, you know, but really 90% of the time I use my graphic 45, and I've never had to replace it yet. So it's really juicy, but I wish they had a refill. Oh, you know what? I just noticed that little center one right here. I did not press down well enough on. All right, there we go. And we're done. Okay, we can peel that off. That is ready. So we've pretty much done all of our setup now for our stamp. We can put that away so we don't lose it. Because you know we do tend to lose things. Now, if you are not working with a beautiful embossing folder, you're not working with that, you can definitely bring in these other little elements. As I mentioned, that they have these really pretty corners, and we can use them on the inside of the card actually if we want to, but you still have these leaves and this corner here, so you still have lots of other little elements that you could use to beautify your card. But as of right now, we've got this far, okay? So I'm going to move these off to the side. I'm going to take these off for now as well, because the next thing we need to do is set ourselves up for our shaker. Also remove that. We're going to be working with this here. Okay, now for the next step, and if you hear any background noise, they are working. It is, of course, now starting to be morning time. So yeah, it's going to get a little noisy in the background. But what we're going to be doing is on this piece right here, we're going to be creating our 3D dimensional barrier. Let's call it that way. So for that, I'm using the Hunky Dory strips. And all we're going to do is take this and go around our, I'm trying to stay in frame while not blocking your view. I'm going around and around. Even the doggy's here now. Everyone's here. Okay, and then we're going to grab our beautiful pink scissors. These are from Uniquely Creative. We have them in store as well. Don't you just love them? All right, we're going to go around like that. Save that, because yes, we can use it for branches and twigs and other little things. And then we're going to come around this way now. Okay, and we're going to snip that. And save that little piece. And then all we need to do is remove our tape. But I do see that there's some openings here. You don't want any kind of opening. If you have an opening, that is a place for your glitter, for whatever it is that you're using to escape. If you want to make sure that you did not adhere it to the point where it's not on screen, gonna be seen from your panel, before you continue on, you can also bring in your panel and take a look and see that, okay, that looks pretty good. You know, again, it's white, so it's kind of perfect. It's just going to melt in there. But if you realize that this might be too far in, you can always just go ahead and lift it at this point and reposition it. But all I've done is to ensure that I am outside, on the outside of my beautiful, you know, stamped image. Okay, let me go get something real quick and I'll show you what it is, because I think it's kind of an important tool to have in your arsenal as well. Okay, here is the product I wanted to show you. This is really neat. It is from Couture Creations. It is called Liquid Scrap Spots. It's a 3D dimensional. It's perfect for application. It says for your scrapbooking, paper to create 3D effects can be used to replace mounting squares and foam tape for a quick result, free from peeling and cutting, ideal for intricate work. So super cool. It works on cardstock, paper, metal, glass, ceramics, silicone. Glue is strong, durable, and flexible, making it perfect for embellishments, decoupage as it dries clear. Okay. Avoid pressing too hard when wet, as this will flatten out the 3D effect. Increase height by applying small dots over on top of each other. So basically it would hold its shape, and then you can even make it thicker and layer it up if you'd like. So to open it, you simply remove the cap. You're going to see that it is got a little tin, but on the other side of your cap, it's got the puncturing little tool. So just use it to puncture, press down. That's going to create now the opening, right? Okay, and now all you do is you simply bring in just a smidge. That's all I want to do is squeeze out just a little bit and close that gap. So it's great for filling in gaps like this, okay? You can use your silicone tool. Again, we have the set, which comes with, I believe, 5 pieces. It's got the silicone tips on one side, and then the ball stylus on the other end. So they're really neat. And I'm going to do a little bit on this side as well, just to ensure that I'm going to have no leakage whatsoever. I'll bring it up. I'm just kind of molding it. I'll show you if it focuses. Give me 1 second. There it goes. So I'm simply grabbing my tool and kind of just shaping it in and molding it to ensure that it's covering that gap there and that gap there. Okay. Pretty neat, huh? Very easy cleanup. If you have silicone tools, just a wipe, and that's it. No sticky stuff, okay? Make sure you clean it nice so that it closes tight. If you do not close it tight, it will harden over time. And what happens is it might harden up here, but then all of this will still be good. If that happens, to save it, to still use it, you can puncture a hole with a pin and, you know, try and use as much of it as you can. But if you just really clean it and close it really nice and tight, it will hold, okay? It will be there for a while. So, for a long time. All right, now we can remove this. Again, those will eventually cure and dry to become silicone spots, basically, okay? I'm gonna just push a little bit down. It's already doing its job. And now it's time for us to add some shaker material. So let me gather some of that, and we are going to add awesome shaker material in here. Now, there's so many things you can add. We have lots of shaker sets from Studio Light, from Couture Creations, if I'm not mistaken, or is it Cosmic? We have several different sets. We even have some from Finnabar, Prima. The glass beads are beautiful because here's what happens with the glass beads. The glass beads allow everything else to move. If you just put glitter in here, a lot of it is going to stick onto your acetate, right? And you can treat your acetate with your anti-static pouch. Oh, it's with my embossing powders. But we have the anti-static pouches. I'll gather that too, just so you can see it. To kind of prevent that static buildup, but still glitter, especially if it's very fine, it's always very finicky and wants to cling on to stuff. However, if you add glass beads, it'll help everything kind of always keep moving and flowing. So I'll gather some stuff and I will be right back. Okay, I got us plenty of options here. I'm going to be using my little spoon to add the product, and we have some awesome little spoons and shovel sets also. I think most of them are listed in the Etsy store though. I don't know that they're in the .com, but there might be in the Etsy. I'll leave more details at the end of the video, guys. But I'm going to show you some choices. We have the Prima glass beads, and that's what I was talking about. Those are super fun to use for your shakers. Again, they will help things to move along. They almost act like a ball bearing, okay, to help stuff if you're adding glitter to this to kind of keep it moving. So you can add some of those. They come in many different colors. Like here I have zinc and berry and crystals. We can actually add some. Oh, here's another color. This one is grass. So they come in all different colors. So make sure you check out the online store. Let's add some of these clear ones too, because those are fun. Right. Then I mentioned to you we have studio light sets. So these are great sets. They come in different colors. This one happens to be pink love, but some of them are like birthday cakes and sprinkles, and some of them are Christmas trees. And so we have all kinds of different sets as well. Also, we have the Cosmic Shimmer glitter jewels, and we have different colors of those as well. So those are fun to use. You can grab a few of those and drop them in there because they're just fun to look at. With the Finnabart, we also have the colored sets and I think we still have some of the micro bead metal colors. This one has like the bronze and the copper and the pink rose, and then this one has more of the colors. Well, I got it closed, so why can I open it? Hang on, my fingers are not working, so we use tools to help us out. I think it might be nice to add some blue. What do you think? We don't have anything blue yet. These come with little shakers on one side and then like a bigger opening on this side. So they make it quite easy for you to add some pretties. Oh, blue is cute. I like it. So you could just have a whole lot of fun filling these up, right? Now, in addition, oh, hang on. My son is so smart. So Michael pointed out the other day, he goes, you know, you actually get a free stencil or mask with this set. And I was like, huh? Where? Do you see the moth? Isn't that just neat? You can actually use the packaging. You could just remove these out and use the packaging as a cool moth stencil. Totally brilliant. It's incredible, you know, how people see different things. Of course, as an artist, you think I would easily have seen that. It never caught. And of course, we were live, and it was so smart because everybody was like, oh yeah, like none of us had noticed the fact that the packaging could be used as a mask. So I love that. Now, in addition, I have like all of these different little bags, I guess I've kept over the years, of all kinds of sequins. There's butterflies, and don't ask me where they came from. I have no clue, to be honest. Probably from my mom. I can add some gold because we are going to have some a little bit of gold, right? With our topper, our string. And then this one here, let's see, we've got some stars. Oh, we got some snowflakes, but are they too big? Oh, they might cover up too much. The snowflakes would have been fun. We have some little teeny tiny silver stars here. Maybe we can add some of those. I really like the snowflakes. Kind of bummed that they're too big. Oh, there's some bigger stars too. I don't want the big ones. I'm just after some of those smaller ones. And again, that's what makes your shakers fun. It's just combining and adding all kinds of different things to make them pop. Okay, we have removed already our lining. I just want to make sure, again, if you wanted to add glitter, you can. But once we are, oh, sorry. You know what we could have done before that? Could have added this. Again, I do not like to finagle with my cards my shakers, once I've added all my goodies, right? So let's go ahead and add those on. You can add them just the way they are, or we can use some of our foam tape. Again, we have squares, we have all kinds, but I love using this one because number one, it is more economic. Price-wise, you get a lot more bang for your buck. And then, you can cut pieces as need be. Now, of course, I still have a bunch of little squares in all sizes, medium, small, large, teeny tiny, because those are great for other projects. But for things like this, I like to have a big roll because it just makes it go faster too, doesn't it? So again, we're going to put that on there and snip over here. We are putting this well, we can do the bottom one. Again, top or bottom at this point, they're both exactly the same, so it doesn't matter. Use our hook tool. You know what? Let's do the back side first. Let's get all of our dimensional on. So now we're going to go on the outside all the way around. This is the fun part, right? When we just start assembling everything and then we kind of see all of our work come to fruition. It's fabulous. Again, the first one always takes a little longer because you're kind of learning what the steps are. But once you start doing these in assembly style, they will go so much faster because you'll just have all of your pieces cut out and ready to go, and everything will be embossed at the same time. So you're not kind of putting stuff back and forth, right? This paper is sturdy enough that I'm not too worried. If you feel like your paper is a little flimsy here and is going to create any kind of a buckle, you know, then just add a little piece of foam. But you shouldn't need to. Okay. There. Now, we're going to open up our borders. We're going to find a border that we really like. There's so many. Here's one that looks like chain. Actually, they could all work, but I'm thinking, oh, or maybe this one. This one's a little wider. But you have plenty and they will all work. We don't need a big piece. We just need a small piece to kind of get us from here. And again, I'm just looking at the center here of my bauble, trying to keep it in camera, and then just kind of following that all the way up to the top. We can snip that, keep that back in place because we're going to use it again and again. You can see that all I've used is this much. So you have about maybe 4 that you can get out of just one stripe. Okay. And look how pretty that looks. So pretty, right? Oh, it's a little crooked, isn't it? Wait. I can reposition. Bring in the hook tool again. Oh, lift. Reposition that. And all I'm doing is I'm aiming for, I did it again. Why do I keep going crooked? I'm aiming for in between the 2 little loops there at the top, okay? Like that. So that really helps you be able to center it easily. Okay. Let's clean up just a bit. Okay, now, this is going to go here. You know what? We could have also added a little piece of chain here, but I think we're going to be, oh, you know what? Let's just put it on the bottom. I don't want to cover all this stuff pretty at the top. Yeah, I don't want to cover that. I'm just going to use my piece at the bottom. I'll save this one for another one. What do you guys think? I just really love the flow of that up top. So with that said, let's press on. Ow, fingers, hook tool, best friend ever. We're going to go about down here. Okay, like so. And then we're going to adhere these. Now you can also add dimensional to this if you'd like. I don't think it's needed. It is super pretty just the way it is. So we're going to bring that ornament and making sure that it kind of sits. You'll kind of move it down until it actually, well, not that crooked, but you're going to move it down until it kind of sits right on that ornament. Okay, like that. And then we're going to add our adorable bow up here. Now, you can also add something cute here to the center. I love that combination. The gold, the charcoal, and the blue just looks so stinking pretty. What I was saying is you can add a little bling down up here. So I think I'll get a bling from my little bling box and do that. But in the meantime, we're going to remove all of the backings, and then we will adhere our top, and guess what? We will be done. Of course, we also have the amazing Katie Sue peelables sentiments that we can use on the inside of our card. So if you took, or if you have the first kit, then you still have some of those peelables left, and you can use that for the inside because they are awesome. They just kind of melt away. Again, if you missed that entire series where we did all those other panels or cards, you definitely want to go back and check that out. It was a whole lot of fun, and it just gives you a whole lot of inspiration. All right, we have already removed that. Hang on, I just see that I shook this, and guess what I've done? I have by accident. Oh, I might need my tweezers. Some of my little sequins, when I moved it, shuffled about. Did I get it? No. Oh, this stuff is sticky. Nope, it just does not want, and I'm just going to make it worse. So I think I'm going to stop while I'm ahead, because I have a feeling I'm just going to try and fight with that little sequence and end up pulling the whole thing. Okay, so now we're just going to bring this in nice and slow, lightly, kind of checking out all of our sides, and then pop it into place. And we now have a beautiful shaker card. And see how those glass beads just help the sequins and everything else kind of move. So it's not, oh, and I didn't even show you the anti-static pouch. I forgot. But you see how they're moving now? They're not all just stuck, because the beads help it to flow almost like a ball bearing. How pretty is that? Super pretty. I'm sure yours, oh, out of the glare. Out of the glare. I'm sure yours is stunning as well. And now you know how to make a super quick shaker card using the beautiful Hunky Dory die set, as well as your inks, your papers, your leftovers, your acetate, and more importantly, the kit that we had shared with you guys. You have plenty, plenty, plenty. I mean, you could go on and on and on. You could make, I don't even know how many cards. It'd be a tonnage. Left. Let me go get a piece of bling here, and I will do a still shot of it so that you guys can also, oh, and our sentiment. Let's not forget our sentiment. I got a little something there. I got it clean. But yes, let me go ahead and get that, and I will show you what that looks like. Okay, so I've got some right here. I got some Craft Consortium. I've got some American Crafts elements. I've got some random ones, which I wouldn't know where we got them from. But we bring in all kinds of stuff for the store. So that one's super cute, right? Let's see. What about if we used something with a little bit more bling to it? Would that be okay? Or would it be overwhelming? These are, oh, these are Brad's. Oh, look at that. I got to put these in the Brad box. They were in my bling box. They're Brad's. So how about something from here? We have multiple blues here that we could use. Oh, that's pretty. How about this one? No, it just blends right into my bow. I mean, into the, it's the exact same color as my foil paper. Or, what if we did like a, no, a gold would just blend into the gold. Oh, what color, guys? Help me out. I've even got some little square ones too. Again, old stuff in my stash. Not sure where I got those. Somewhere on clearance. But I'm sure we all have a large quantity of extra little jewels that we love to buy and have in our stash. How about a little tiny square one? I could just use my katana instead of fighting, right? With it. My jewel picker upper, which is right here. I'm just being stubborn at this point. Oh yeah, that looks adorable. See, just a little something. Let's see if it focuses. See, just a little something. I got to straighten it out. But I do want to add extra adhesive because I don't know when I got those. Those are like old. I have no clue. And I do not want them falling off. Yeah, see, it wasn't going to be very promising at all. It already wants to peel off. So I am going to add extra adhesive. Again, nothing sadder than giving somebody a gift, right? Or project or something, and then it just kind of falls apart. Just, it's not nice. We want to build something with love. We want it to be enjoyed. Oh, look at that. It's loosey-goosey. And just screw it back in. And there are replacement tips, by the way, for the tool. So if you ever need, oh, look how pretty that is. Let me straighten it out. No, it's just dancing with me. There we go. So pretty. So I'm going to let that to dry. And we have a gorgeous shaker card. I didn't put a whole lot in there because I really didn't want it, obviously, to cover my sentiment. But I love, I don't know if you guys can see that you can actually see the ones that have that, what is that finish called? Not chrome. What am I trying to say? Oh, somebody put it in chat. I have no idea. What was it? Where are they? Not Aurora Borealis. It's, what is that finish? Oh, they call them ice flakes. But to me, they have like an iridescent. That's the word. Oh my heavens. I can't even think of the word iridescent. I need to go get some coffee, obviously. It is now mid-morning and I need to go get myself some coffee. So I hope that you have enjoyed the tutorial and the video thus far. I hope that you will make one with us. More importantly, stay tuned for some announcements here coming up. We certainly hope that you have enjoyed the video, and if you did, won't you please leave a comment down below? We would really appreciate it. Plus, we are doing random giveaways from the comments for some gift cards. So if you like a gift card, leave a comment down below, and of course, we would appreciate tremendously a like and a share as well. So make sure you share it in your crafty groups and with your friends. As a reminder, we have all of the products that you've seen here, plus thousands more in our online stores. We have SpectrumArtCreations.com and also the Etsy store, which has different products, same name, Spectrum Art Creations. So make sure you check out both. In addition, we also do live sales here on YouTube. So make sure that you join us for those because they're a whole lot of fun. You get to see the product live. You get to shop live right on the spot. You get to chat live and participate. And of course, we have games and giveaways as well. So do join us and shop from the comfort of home and then have all of your purchases delivered to your front doorstep in a matter of days. If you are not in the Facebook group, well, you need to be. It is Spectrum Art Creation Friends. Don't forget the friends at the end. And also don't forget to answer the questions when you request membership because it is the only way that your request will get approved. And you want to be in the Facebook group so you can share, so you can be inspired, so you can participate. That's right. There are additional challenges and additional giveaways in the Facebook group as well. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe and that you ring that bell so that you can be notified of whenever we are live. And again, you can join us and craft along and participate. This channel is always busy, lots of things happening, like all of the things you see here on screen, including live sales, tutorials, classes, you name it. I'm going to leave another video here at the end for you guys to check out some additional inspirations, and we will see you there.